Okay, so my coming out process started in 8th grade. My male best friend at the time went and came out as bisexual, and that's what kind of prompted me to start thinking about my sexual orientation a little bit, because I had never questioned whether or not I was heterosexual. I never really thought about it. In 5th grade, I remember having dreams of me. This is kind of personal, but it's part of the story. In 5th grade, I had dreams of me lying with this imaginary female naked in a bed, like just next to each other. Like we didn't do anything or whatever, and she was kind of like an androgynous female too, but I had just kind of pushed that under the rug and said, "Oh well, it's a dream. It doesn't really mean anything," and it's no one that I knew, so I didn't think anything of it. But then in 8th grade, when he came out as bisexual, it kind of like set a little, on a light bulb per se off in my head. So one day we're sitting in science class with a mutual female friend of ours, and I went and told them that I thought I might be bisexual, and she was like really cool with it. Like she was like, "Well, who are you attracted to?" And she was all like kind of encouraging. And then my male friend, of course, he had come out as bisexual, so he was like, whatever. He was totally cool with it, and he was actually kind of excited because he wasn't the only one. So that was cool. But I went and thought that because my family was pretty accepting of people who were gay, lesbian, bisexual, and the people that I come out to, those two people were cool with it, that everyone must be cool with it. So I started telling everybody, "Oh yeah, I'm bisexual," and that's when I started realizing that not everybody's okay with that. Maybe I'll do a different video about some of the discrimination and kind of blah things I've had to deal with, but sticking to this, so I just kind of identified as bisexual until, or up to 10th grade. And then in 10th grade, one night I went and I asked my mom at dinner. Um, it's funny because I can remember what we were eating and like where we were sitting at the table and stuff like that. Like it's crazy the things you remember. I don't remember what I was wearing though, but anyway, I remember saying or asking her what she would think if I was dating a female, and she knew that I had been hanging out with a bisexual female, and so she kind of like got all pissy and was thinking that like she had some sort of influence on me, and maybe it was some sort of phase or something. So like she kind of just like set her knife and fork down and got up from her chair, and she took the chair that she had been sitting in and slammed it into the dining room table and stormed upstairs, and I was scared shitless. I mean, she didn't even say anything. She just got up and just like freaked the bleep out. Seriously. And then my dad followed her right upstairs, and he came back down and he says, "Your mom thinks you're just saying this to piss her off." And granted, my mom and I haven't always had the best relationship. I mean, yeah, it was actually kind of rough my teenage years, but why would I go and say I'm bisexual to piss her off? I could have done a million other things, and I was hurt by that. And so she came downstairs and I was started crying, and I was like, "Listen, it's not like I decide, this is the way I want to feel. Like this is just how it is, and I don't think it's a phase, and that's just how I feel." And my dad was like rubbing my back, trying to calm me down, and she was rubbing my back too, but like I think she was just doing it because he was, and I think that night they just kind of both brushed it off as a phase. Like my dad was telling me, "Well, you haven't even really started dating yet. You're too young to know what you are." Da da da. So it was just kind of like swept under the rug. Didn't get talked about after that. Then the summer between 10th and 11th grade, I met a transgender male to female online, and her and I did more than just talk. I'll just leave it at that. Um, and she went and sent me pictures of herself. And when she had sent me pictures of herself, like tucked in female panties, I thought she was attractive. But then she also went and sent me pictures of herself not tucked, without panties. And it was just, I don't know what it was, but it turned me off. And so one night her and I were talking, and I was like, I can't keep having these relations with you. I can't keep doing the things that we're doing because I'm kind of losing my attraction towards you. And I mean, I felt kind of bad saying that, but that's honestly how I felt. And her and I were very kind of open with each other. So she and I kept talking that night, and I said, I think I'm a lesbian. And the moment I said that, it was like this huge, just like epiphany, like this huge, just like sudden realization that that's what that was. Like, I had had feelings, and I had been attracted to females, and at that point, I had been like kind of with a couple of females. Like, I hadn't had sex at that point, but I made out with a female. Another girl had kissed me, so like I kind of knew that like I wasn't really attracted to guys anymore or anything. And I noticed after I said that I was lesbian, my attraction towards guys just like gradually, like over the next, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks, just like went away. And I mean, there was those points where I questioned, well, maybe, you know, I am bisexual and I'm not a lesbian. But like once I said it, it was like a no-brainer. Like, even if I had that doubt in the back of my mind, I knew I was gay. So when I went back to school for 11th grade, I came out to my two best friends. One was bisexual, and he identified as a male at the time, although right now he's planning on transitioning to become a she, so that's pretty cool. But just for everyone's, I guess, sake right now, before he really begins entering transition, he's using male pronouns, which is his choice. I respect that. And then my other best friend is a heterosexual male, but he's always been like a huge ally. Like, he's gone to pride events, he'll wear the rainbow boa. He loves it when guys hit on him and stuff like that, and he's just like totally cool. So, I mean, I was really lucky to have that support system. And I came out to one of the two GSA advisors that we had, Gay Straight Alliance, for those of you who might not know. And she was okay with it. So September 25th of that year, which I believe was 2005. Oh my gosh, I've been out for over 3 years. Um, that's crazy. I went and was watching Boys Don't Cry that night, and there's a scene where Brandon Tina, who is a female to male, or was a female to male, because this is based on a true story, and this did happen, she was murdered. Or he. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just slipped. Sorry. I can't stand it when people slip on pronouns, especially when referring to, like, transgender people. Sorry. I can't believe I did that. I've never done that before. Anyway, he was murdered. And I remember I paused the movie and I started crying. I mean, bawling, because I thought, oh my god, that could happen to me because I'm a lesbian. And that was a really scary thought. And so I decided that night that I was going to tell my parents that I was a lesbian.